Finish the quiz. Once you finish the quiz, let me know. I'll begin the new topic of discussion today's. It's the last module of current semester, module 5. If any doubts are there with respect to the last 4 modules, you can uh, ping me now or later. No doubt at all, right? I hope I made you understand the concepts of Android, right? You can raise your hand if you want to ask any questions like this. Okay. So I'm happy to make I made you to understand the most of the concepts in Android. So I'm going with the two more varieties of mobile application development platform, that is iOS and the Windows Phone. So iOS stands for Internet OS. iOS stands for Internet OS. So here we are not dive into the in detail programming detail of iOS or the Windows Phone. Just these two subtitles which we are going to learn is with respect to the comparison with the Android phone, Android OS. Just we are going with these two, iOS and Windows Phone. And actually, the Windows Phone today, it is stopped of using those Windows Phone nowadays. So manufacturing of Windows Phone already stopped by the vendors, but it is kept in our syllabus. So we are discussing this Windows Phone. Uh, Actually, the syllabus needs to be revised as per my view. Okay, today we are going with iOS, Internet OS, Internet Operating System, or iOS. Fine. iPhone craze. See, the first topic of this discussion is iPhone craze. It will come under the subtitle of the iOS obtaining the tools of it and tools and SDK. Uh, so the first iPhone was revealed at the Macworld conference in early January 2007. Almost we are reaching the 18th year of iOS. 18th year of iOS. Why iOS? What's the reason of going to buy the iOS phones? iOS is also a vendor and supporter for mobile application development. So initially, third-party native applications were not allowed. In the iOS phone, it is restricted to use only the Apple-related applications. Third-party services like what we are using phone security scanners. Those are all third-party services. The developer who has developed the games you are installing in your phone, that is third-party services. A memory cleanup application, third-party services. Such kind of applications were not allowed early during when the phone was launched. So when they stopped others to install, obviously your phone is little bit secure than the Android phones, right? So today, if you are going to buy the Apple phones or iOS phones, the main reason you are buying is uh, by looking into the security feature of the Apple phone, right? As of February 2012, the Apple App Store contained more than 7,25,700 applications. So, as on today, we are going to see the Apple App Store consists of Apple App Store uh, number of applications as of now. See, the Apple App Store has 2.2 million apps available for download. There are 2.8 million apps available for download on Google Play Store. See, the Apple's latest information about the Apple App Store is 2.2 million applications which will be present in November 2020. The Apple Store has 2.2 million applications available for download. So among that, there are 2.8 million apps available for download on the Google Play Store. So during the May 2010, the 59% of all mobile web data consumption in the US came from iPhones. So let us see the current status of US. Mobile web data consumption in the US came from iPhone. The current version is iPhone makes up 50% of smartphone web traffic. 50%. 50% as of now by 2020. So mobile accounts approximately half of web traffic worldwide. Worldwide, it's a 50% by 2020. Okay, 59% was there at 2010. Now 50% of the mobile web data consumption happening worldwide is 50%. Remaining 50, it might be generated one from the computers, it might be generated from the Android phone, it might be generated from absolute phone like Windows phones. Okay. Right. So looking into the iPhone. iPhone was released that smartphone manufacturers realized the importance of all of these features being combined to provide a great mobile development platform. See, iPhone, the beginning of development of iPhone is it was meant for connecting always with the internet. Connecting nowadays, most of us were connecting online only. Android phones also supported that connecting on the internet, but this theme was considered from iOS. So iOS, the following features, which was going to be features of part of the iPhone. That is always on the internet is the very first feature. The second feature is location aware. Nowadays, even Android support also GPS and location based services that was came from the idea of iOS phones. Then orientation aware, that is urban spoon half supports that orientation, means if you rotate your phone, physically rotate your phone, automatically orientation is going to be adjusted. So that feature was exist with the iPhone. So even currently our phone also supports the same Android. Then innovative input are multi-finger inputs. So multi-finger inputs nowadays by swiping from top to bottom, multi-finger, three fingers. So it will take a screenshot of the current uh, visibility. So multi-finger inputs was supported. High quality scalable screen means today HD high definition resolution cameras as well as the high definition screens are available. These are all the features of development of iOS phones during that time. So to almost 17 years back, these are all a feature was available. But nowadays, every Android phone is available with all these features. So main the thing is the power consciousness to app developers. Because if you go with the above five features, power consumptions are more. When consumptions are more, battery drain also speed up. When battery is draining speed up, so the in a half a day maybe your phone is going to be switch off. So there was a challenge for the developers to develop an application which consumes less power and high performance. Nowadays, 10,000 mAh, 4,000 mAh, 5,000 mAh, depending on the vendors, supporters, different variants of batteries are available, and depending on your uses, you can buy the phones. So Apple devices. So Apple devices supports the iOS. iPhone, we are going to discuss iPhone, Ipod Touch, and iPad. Although each of these devices runs a versions of iOS, it's important to note that older devices may not be able to run the latest version of iOS. The another restricted feature of iOS is you cannot install the latest version in the current phones because hardware it was designed in such a way that only it supports for the current version. So that tomorrow if new versions releases from iOS, today's mobile phone is not going to support. That's the another one. It's that actually it is a drawback for the end users, and it is advantage for the companies who is manufacturing the devices because new phone is going to be sell in the market. Okay. So iPhone. Let us look into the some basics of iPhone related information. iPhone introduced in the year 2017, 2007. From 2007 to December 11, five devices have been released. Let us directly look into the Google search now. The iPhone different versions. iPhone different versions. iPhone different versions as on date. Say iPhone different versions as on date. The evolution of iPhone from 2007 to 2020. His screen is visible. So several iOS phones are there. The current version is 14.2. So yeah, from the fatter version to the slim version, you can look into the figure. Fatter versions now you can see sleek and slim and sleek. So there are the latest versions is 2007 iPhone. Apple, it was come with the thickness 11.6 mm, weight 135 gram, display 3.5 inches, storage capacity 4 GB, 8 GB and 16 GB expandable. Camera comes with 2 MP, memory 128 MB, multi-touch, and some of the versions. Ambient light sensor and accelerometer came into existence with the iPhone. See, if you come across with 2008, iPhone 3G came into existence in July 11, 2008, with the little more improvements compared to the previous version. Then 2009, again 3GS Smart, 3G Smart iPhone with the few more additional features, it came into existence. Then 2010 iPhone 4, iPhone phone with gyroscope, front-facing camera, retina display, all those things exist with iPhone 4. 2011 iPhone phone Smart. Again, it comes with a 1080 pixel recording. Siri, that is voice recording, came into existence, and the SIM card slot also comes. Previously, it is embedded with the phone itself. Then 2012 iPhone 5, the LTE long-term connectivity introduced, and lightning connector also introduced in iPhone 5. 5 million sold in first weekend. And iPhone 5s and iPhone 5C, these series was introduced 2013, September 2013. Thickness was 7.6 millimeter, weight 112 gram. So previously it was 135 gram, now it is reduced to 112. In 5 or 6 years, almost it doubles the storage capacity from 2 GB to 16 GB, 32 GB and 64 GB expandable. Back camera 8 megapixel, and memory 1 GB. Touch ID, that is finger, means security is improved through the fingerprint. Dual flash and motion co-processor also introduced. slow motion video also can be recorded. So this was exist with iPhone 5 during the September 2013. Then iPhone 5C, the variant of, usually it comes with the black or white color. Now the body color, different 5 6 colors was introduced. And the 2014 iPhone 6 and 6 Plus was introduced with the Retina HD display. High definition display was defined, and optical image stabilization means they are concentrated in this iPhone 6 and 6 Plus on the improvement in the display unit. Then in September 19, 2015, iPhone 6s and 6s Plus was introduced with 3D touch and 7000 series aluminum. So these two features were introduced, and you can also, it is improvised the camera 12 megapixel, and the internal memory is 2 GB. When you come across with the 2016 iPhone Smart Edition, that standard edition SE was launched with 3D touch and almost rebuilt. Almost it is rebuilt. And iPhone 7 and 7 Plus 2016 it was introduced with the 16 GB base model. It was dropped from iPhone 7, the previous iPhone 7. So 32 GB of storage and going up to 256 GB expandable, and also it has come with some earpods can be plugged. So adapter for traditional headphones. It was a wireless AirPods was introduced at iPhone 7. In 2017, iPhone 8 and 8 Plus was introduced with the wireless charging capacity with the glass cover on the back of the phone. So wireless charging was introduced in iPhone 7, iPhone 8. Then in iPhone X in 2017 it was introduced. Almost it is iPhone X in extra front facing camera. Front facing cameras were introduced, and to taking a selfies in portrait mode. Then in 2018, iPhone XS and XS Max was introduced. By looking into this phone, the back covers are redesigned. Back covers are redesigned, and Apple announced XS and XS Max during September 2018 event in the Steve Jobs Theater. These models were well named as they were definite upgrades along the lines of iPhone X. The display were edge to edge, so edge to edge display was maintained, and it all looked great with the Super Retina HD display. So this came into introduction of that XS phones. Then iPhone XR was released 2018 with the following features, like still bigger the 7 and 8 Plus, that is maximum cover is introduced, a display, and a liquid retina HD display. Then this model had the front facing camera and came in way more colors than the XS or XS Max. So colors were introduced, and mainly on selfie camera is improved. Then iPhone 11 2019. So as it is looking, a dual camera is introduced. You can see dual cameras introduced. And also the device feature is 6.1-inch liquid retina display. Then comes in six crisp colors. Both 11 and 12 MP, two cameras, dual camera is used. 11 and 2 MP. One is offering wide, and another one is ultra wide lenses. It used. So here phone is acting as a camera. Now 2017 professional edition of iPhone 11 was introduced. Pro edition with 12 MP HDR high definition resolution camera lenses, offering wide and ultra wide, and telephoto lenses also used introduced in these phones. Just you look, there are three cameras here compared to the previous. This is professional camera. It captures the feature of wide, ultra wide, and the telephoto lenses it used. Then 2019 iPhone 11 Pro Max. You just look, there are another additional sensor is used here. You can observe the phone itself. So what is that? Three lens camera up to 11 Pro, as well as the same color choices. Nearly only difference is 6.5 inches. That one is 6.1 inch. Right. Then during April 2020, second generation iPhone second generation. Here 4.7-inch Retina display, home button with Touch ID, original second edition, smart edition or standard edition. The second generation offers many of the features iPhones, including A13 Bionic chip, advanced camera system with portrait mode, depth control, high definition video, wireless charging capacity, and long battery life. This was introduced in April 2020, and as of now, November 13, recently, the 12 mini was introduced with two cameras and one sensor and one flashlight. Right, this uses A14 Bionics chip, 5.4 inches display, XDR OLED display, then 12 mini and 12 mini, it is named as 12 mini. So estimated battery life, that's 2 hours shorter than that of large iPhone 12. It's a mini, compared to that it is 2 hours little. Then October 23, 2020, iPhone 12 one more versions was introduced with 6.1-inch iPhone 12, exactly the same features, camera specifications, processing capability as the 12 mini, except that it's estimated to have a 17-hour video playback compared to the iPhone 12 mini's 15 hours. So here battery life is improved in this version of the phone. Then uh, then the another latest version is iPhone 12 Pro professional version of iPhone 12. Almost all it has a similar features. In addition to that, it has a lidar scanning, improved night mode, enhanced zoom range, and lens functions. So they worked on camera features in that professional models. Then November 13, 2020, Max Pro iPhone 12 Pro Max was introduced with, it has features 5 times zooming capability is improved here. It is 6.7 inches was used, 87% improvement on the way it function like over the iPhone 11 models. So means it is a little bit improved version of that Pro. So iPhone generations to come, the current version is 4.14.2. You can see the current version of iPhone is 14.2. So you can check current version of iPhone. The current version of latest version of iOS and iPad is 14.2. So, as per the this website iPhoneLife.com, it was given up to the iPhone 12 Pro versions, but still development, research and development is going on, keep on going on, improving the device capabilities. So, iPhone generations in future 14, 16 depends on the customer needs and customer satisfaction. Even iPhone as well as Android phone also emerging with the new features and new generations. Okay, I hope I made you understand a little bit about the history and generations of iPhone. So why we need to go with iPhone? That's a one question. It will comes in the mind that the main thing is a prestige issue. If you have an iPhone, the people looks you like you having owning a Benz or Audi car with you, right? So because most of the iPhones are expensive, costly compared to the Android phones. iPhone features are many a times iPhone around 50,000 plus rupee of the iPhone phone features are available in the and phones of China made set like 7,000 or 8,000 rupees. Is it or not? Most of the time it is available. So, but it comes when you are worrying about the security and preserving your personal information. Better to switch on the iPhone rather than go with the Android phones, etc. Right? So these are some of the history we have seen related to the iPhone. Then and some of the software related iPhone, iOS or iPad versions are available. This information is taken from the Wikipedia as a source. Source of information is that from version 3.1.32 till the current version is 14.2 up to 12.4.9 it is discontinued. The current version is used by the iOS is 14.2. The development version, that is beta version, is trial version is 14.3 beta 2. Build internal build structure it is 7 e exponential 18 7e18. The build version is 18b92. It's a technical terms. Architecture it was used till 3.1 to 6.1 is 32-bit ARM architecture. So from 7.1 to 10.3 it was used 32 or 64-bit ARM. From 12.49 to the current beta version 64-bit ARM architecture is used. Release date was from February to 2010 to the November 17, 2020. November 17 is day before yesterday, right? Device end of life is first iPad not available in this version. iPhone available first generation and 3G network are used. Ipod Touch first and second. See, observe here. iPad, iPhone, iPod Touch is not available as of now with the 14.2 as well as 14.3 also. So till 12.4.9 version, iPad is available with the Air, Mini, and Mini different variants, and iPhone is 5S and 6 is available. iPod Touch is 6 is available. These are the some of the current iOS or iPad OS versions. This information is taken from the Wikipedia source iOS version history. Okay. And in addition to that, these are the some of the other hardware iOS versions just now seen. This device was built on iPhone technology, looked identical to the iPhone, and used the same 480 by 320 multi-touch screen, but it was not a phone. iPod Touch is similar to the iPhone, but it is a multi-touch screen. It was not a phone. It's the iPod is not a phone. It is meant for some other usage purpose. This was a great option for consumers who wanted the iPhone experience but did not want to pay the fee for a cell phone contract. So its lack of this device could access the internet only through a wireless internet connection. iPod meant for not it is similar to your laptop. How the laptop does not have a calling facility. In the same way, iPod also does not have a calling facility. Except the calling facility, you can access the internet. You can access the internet. So iPod Touch hardware and iOS versions available as of now. Device first generation to third generation. Shipped iOS is 3.1. Maximum iOS version iOS 4.2.1. But according to the previous screenshot, the maximum iPod is sixth generation. Is the sixth generation. Then the another variant of iOS phones is the iPad, introduced in January 2010. iPad was another revolutionary product from Apple. When the iPad was first released, many argued it was just a big iPod Touch, which was partially true. You could purchase a cellular data plan so that the device could access data but not phone service. The same great UI that made the iPhone and iPod Touch famous was now available with the 1024 by 768 screen size. The iPad is leading the way in the tablet computing. So we are using nowadays a tablet phones, right? Similar to that tablet phones, it was called as iPad in the iOS technology. And some of the iPad hardware and iOS versions in this screen is up to in this screen is iPad iOS 3.22, iOS 5.5, 5.1, and according to the screen of the this current status, iPad the version is of fourth generation, Air version, AIR version, first, second, Mini 2 and Mini 3 versions is available. Okay, this is all about the iPad iOS, the introduction part of the iOS. Some of that prerequisite to set up iOS development platform as hardware. Hardware is required. Hardware is such hardwares are iPhone, iPod, and iPad. You must have a Mac OS, Macintosh OS. The iPhone SDK runs only on Mac OS X. iPhone SDK runs only on Mac OS X. The only sanctioned hardware for iPhone, iPod, and iPad development is an Intel-based Macintosh. Right? You can get that Macintosh details in this URL, HTTP or HTTPS. store.apple.com. How you get the information about the Android? Developer.android.com. In the same way, you can get the information about the Mac and the iPhone, iPad, and iPod information from store.apple.com. US browse home special deals Mac. Okay, we'll discuss a little more thing about the iOS can be used in different level as a developer, as a user, and as a manufacturer and as a vendor. We will look in detail in the next coming session. Today, I hope I made you understand about the iOS phone. If I go with the overview of it is iOS phone is better compared to the Android phone in terms of the features like security features, and it is restricted. The third party applications cannot be installed with or without the permission of the users. Compared to the Android phone, it is little bit secure. Compared cost, Android phones are cheaper than the iOS phone. When you compare with the custom users worldwide, Android phone is most widely used compared to the iPhones, right? So because every application what you want, if you want to install the application which you need to be used in the iOS phone, you need to be pay and install, whereas in Android case most of the applications are free and open source, right? So you can think of the difference between all these as compared to the Android and iPhones. So Windows phones almost it is deprecated. BlackBerry sets was used the Windows phones, Windows features, but as of now in the market Windows phones are not available. Okay, clear? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, let us stop our discussion now. We'll continue in the next class about the tools which is going to be used by the iOS phones. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, any questions?
yeah, this after attendance.
Attendance, okay.